To motivate people to buy, you need to create both empathy and incentive in your sales copy. So you might be wondering, how do you do that? Well, in this video, we're gonna talk about the most powerful sales secret there is, and I'm gonna share with you the 4 questions you must ask before writing a sales page to avoid crappy conversions. Stay tuned. Hey Posse, what's up? It's Alex coming at you this week with another video on how to write a sales page that works in the modern age. But first, if you're new to the crew, welcome to my channel. If you are ready to learn how to write compelling copy and sell your products and services on the internet without selling out on your integrity, then make sure you go ahead and subscribe below, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when my next video goes live. All right, are you ready? Let's dive in. Now, as I said at the top of this video, to motivate people to buy, you need to create both empathy and incentive in your messaging. More specifically, you need to speak to both the logical and the emotional brain of your readers. The logical brain, that's the neocortex, is the part of our brain that's responsible for rational and analytical thought. The part of your copy that speaks to this part of the brain would be things like facts, figures, and features. This is all about what it is you are selling. It is the features and the details of your product or service. Now, obviously, this is all very important information to include in your sales copy. You won't have much luck making a sale unless you do include this information. And the truth is, most people have no problem including tons of logical left brain information in their copy. But this alone does not make a great offer. You need to also give proper attention to the emotional side of the brain. The emotional or limbic brain is the part of our brains that's responsible for all of our feelings. This is where likability, trust, and loyalty is felt in your readers. So if you want to get your audience to relate and respond to you in a positive way or a negative way, then you need to create emotional resonance. And I would probably say that most people probably know that, but here's where they go wrong. You need to create emotional resonance first. Before you address the what, dish out all the amazing features, bells and whistles, or even bring up your offer at all, you need to address the underlying emotional drivers of your audience. Yep. You need to create empathy. And you need to do that early on in your indoctrination or the lead-in of your sales page. Now, for those of you who are like, what is she talking about? What is the indoctrination? That's basically that chunk of copy on your sales page that happens right after your headline. And after your headline or opening statement, this is arguably the most important part of your entire sales message. It's where you let your audience know, hey, I am speaking to you. This is the section that will help your audience self-select as needing whatever it is that you're offering and simultaneously hook their interest into wanting to find out more. And you do that by delivering value and communicating a compelling narrative, which means this section should not say anything about your actual product or service at all. I know, it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me, this is the most powerful sales secret there is. You have to convince the emotional brain before the logical brain has a chance to raise any objections. Remember this, people buy emotionally and justify logically. So, what does all of this mean? You're like, okay, but how, Alex? How do I put this into action? How can you write a sales page that creates emotional resonance and gets the emotional brain invested in what you have to say, and then helps them justify logically that they are in fact making a great decision buying from you? Well, there are 4 questions you should ask before you start to write any sales page. Number 1, is it specific enough? One of the most important things your sales page needs to accomplish early on is helping the audience self-select as needing to pay attention to what it is you're saying, obviously, right? So you do that by very clearly calling them out and letting them know, hey, I am talking to you, and the more specific you can be, the better. Now, there are a lot of different ways that you could accomplish this. You can do this by calling out a specific problem or pain point with a compelling story, like this example from numerologist.com. You can see here that they're telling a story to their reader about their future, the uncertainties, the possibilities, and how to turn the tides in their favor. This is clearly talking to a very specific audience that's worried about the future and wants to claim control over the direction of their life. Now, another way you could do this is by calling out a very specific audience, like this example from Rising Woman. Tired of attracting avoidant, unavailable, or narcissistic partners? They are calling out a very specific audience by asking a rhetorical question that their audience can immediately say, yeah, I am in one of those relationships and I'm tired of it, so I better pay close attention. And the last way you can call out the audience is by drawing attention to a very specific benefit of your offer, like this example from Mindvalley. Here they are clearly defining a specific benefit right out of the gate. Learn anything in a fraction of the time. So remember, whether it's a problem, the audience, or a benefit, specificity in your sales copy will make it infinitely more powerful. All right, next up, question number 2, does it pass the persuasion test? So to start, I want to share a quote by Blair Warren, TV producer, marketer, and author of One Sentence Persuasion, 27 Words to Make the World Do Your Bidding. He said, "People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies." I love this quote and I teach it to all of my students inside my programs. So your sales page should really do one or more of these things early on. So let's go through a couple of examples. 1, encourage their dreams. Put people into a dream state and help them imagine what their ideal life could look like. So to do this, you could use the concept of future pacing to really paint the possibilities. So here's a great example from Organifi. They say here, 6 months from now, when people come up to you and ask, "What have you been doing? I want some of that." Whatever it is, you look amazing. You can't put a price tag on that feeling. I love that. All right, justify their failures. No one wants to believe that it's their fault they're struggling, it's just human nature. So reminding them that it's not their fault is a really powerful way to establish trust. Now, here's an example from a supplement company. They're basically saying, hey, it's not your fault that you're struggling with bone loss. You've been told to take calcium, but calcium alone isn't enough to maintain strong bones. You actually need 13 minerals. Great. Allay their fears. So it is scientifically proven that we as humans are hardwired to avoid pain over gaining pleasure. So you want to address the pain or problem your prospect is feeling, but not by putting salt in the wound. You want to allay their fears through empathy and understanding. Here's a great example from ADT. 26% of burglaries happen while someone is at home. Woo! Did anyone else just get goosebumps reading that? That is a big fear that a lot of people have, especially those who work from home. Then ADT goes on to say, feel safe now. So they aren't just sending a message of doom and gloom, they are sending a message of hope. Here's the scary but true fact, but hey, we can help you feel safe. Confirm their suspicions. So when you confirm suspicions or beliefs, you are giving your prospect a sense of validation. It's that, aha, I knew it feeling, right? So here's an example. Many women know that hormonal imbalance can wreak havoc on their health. Great example of this. Now, find a common enemy. So to do this, you really want to create a sense of belonging on a larger and more societal scale by calling out the other guys. Remember that everyone wants to feel like they belong to a specific group or a mission or a cause, right? Now here's a really great example of that from Mindvalley. You can see here that the common enemy they are calling out is society's views on money, which of course we have consequently internalized. Now it's about time we do something about it, right? Now, of course, you don't have to hit on all of these in your sales page, but to pass the persuasion test, I'd recommend using at least one. All right, on to the next question your sales page needs to address. Number 3 is trust established. People will not buy from you unless they trust you, period. This is especially important if the audience is new and hasn't come across you or your product or service before. And one of my favorite ways to establish trust, build credibility, and create rapport is through storytelling. Storytelling is at the core of killer copywriting. It is the most authentic way to get your customers to buy into what it is you're saying at an emotional level. Remember, people don't like to be sold things, but everyone loves to be told a great story. Stories evoke all of your audience's senses and emotions in a way that really no other form of communication can. So when you tell a story the right way, your copy practically writes itself. And that is why I focus heavily on teaching storytelling inside all of my copywriting programs. In fact, in my 8-week copywriter training program, the Launch Files, I teach you 8 proven storytelling formulas that you can use in your messaging and create your very own story structures for your portfolio pieces. You can learn more about that program by clicking the link in the description below. All right, now onto the 4th question you must ask before you write a sales page. Is your offer unique? So listen, you can tell a story all you want, but unless it guides people towards believing in your unique solution, a story is just a story. In order to get your reader to believe that you are in fact the one that can help them solve their problem, you need to clearly communicate what makes your product or service different, better, faster than your competitors. You need to showcase a unique benefit or feature that others don't or just can't offer. And this is where your USP or unique selling proposition comes in. But here's the hardest part. It needs to be short, sweet, and to the point. Ideally, you should be able to communicate your USP in 10 seconds or less. So for example, here's the USP for my Copy Posse Launch Files program. The Copy Posse Launch Files helps brand new copywriters with no portfolio, no experience, and no idea where to start achieve highly paid copywriting skills and build their portfolio from scratch through step-by-step video training, proven formulas, and community accountability. Now, if you want to learn how to craft the perfect, most juiciest USP for your product or service, I'll link to a video where I share my USP formula here in just a few seconds. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you next week with a brand new video. Until then, I'm Alex. Ciao for now. All right, guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to check out the next one from me right here. And you can click right here to get a free gift. Writer's block is no fun, especially when you have a big sales page to complete and a looming deadline ahead. So in this video, I'm sharing 5 of my go-to copywriting prompts and exercises that help me get started.